This is Mungo Darkmatter, and welcome to Dark Matters. Today on Dark Matters, we're going to discuss how to create and post a notice to a group on Second Life. If you have a Second Life group, or if you're an officer in a Second Life group, you can do postings to the group, and you may need to let people in the group know some important information relevant to that group. So we're going to discuss how to do that today. First, we're going to do it on the latest version of the official Second Life client, and then we'll do it on Firestorm. It shouldn't take long because it's a pretty quick process, but I just wanted to show you the differences. This is version 3.4.1 of the official Second Life client right here, and so it's the latest version. Alright, what you want to do is you want to right click on your avatar and go to My Groups and select the group that you want to do the posting to and go View Info. And you can click down here on Notices. And right up here has all the notices that would be posted to the group. None have been posted to this group so far, but these are like a history of notices so people can go back and look at them. And it saves that for, they're kept for 14 days and then they're deleted automatically. This button right here is to create a new notice, and anyone who's an owner or an officer by default can create a notice. Standard, just basic users can't create a notice. Now, in some groups where they've created other roles, they may have other roles that can create notices, but they've added it to it, and you could do that as well. You could create a role and allow people in that role to post notices, but you've got to be careful because the notice goes out to everybody in the group, so it should be somebody who is responsible, who's doing it, and someone who knows the rules to do it. You don't want just anybody to be able to post notices, so be careful who you give that permission to. Alright, so we're going to click on New Notice. And for the subject, I'm going to put this is a sample notice, and we'll just put a quick notice here. Testing group notices, please disregard this notice. Alright, and then I'll just sign it Mungo. Alright, so pretty simple. There's a basic notice there. There's a limit to how much you can put in there. I can't remember the exact number of characters off the top of my head, but you can only really put like a couple of paragraphs there, a couple of short paragraphs before it will stop you. So you can't have a real lengthy thing. However, you can attach a note card to a notice, so if you have to put out something longer, you can say, hey, here's a note card on, you know, the sim policies or the sim rules or whatever you have in there. Now, to attach a note card, all you have to do is go to Inventory, and we're going to go to Note Cards here, and I have one called Test Note Card Attachment, and you just drag that over and drop it there. And in addition to note cards, you can also attach objects. I've got an object here called Test Object Attachment. I'm going to drop that on there. Now you can only have one attachment at a time, so you can see that that replaced our text attachment. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to put the text attachment and drag it over here and drop it to this box here. And I'm going to leave the test note card there, and I'm going to click on send to send the notice, and it will send the notice and the note card attachment. And if you look back here, we got this notice, and if we click here on the note card attachment, it opens it up and it says this is to show a note card attachment in Group's postings, Mungo. That's something that I created earlier. So it actually sends the card out and people can click on it and it will pull it into their inventory and they'll have it for later. I'll show you how we can do the same thing with an attachment of an object as well, but I'm going to show you that in Firestorm since I have to go through the process in Firestorm anyway. So I'm going to switch over to Firestorm now. I'm in Firestorm now, and this is the latest version of the Firestorm client, 4.2.2. It's the latest as of the filming of this video. Alright, I'm going to right click on the avatar, and I'm going to go to groups. I'm going to select the group that I want, and I'm going to go info, and it pulls up the group info box. I'm going to click on the notices tab right here, and here you can see this is the notice that we just posted, and it's in the history, so we can bring this up later, and we can actually come down here and open the attachment again if we wanted to. But we're going to go to this button right here and click on it. It's a new notice button, and we're going to create a new notice. We're going to put this is another test notice. Okay, and then I'm going to just type in a brief message. Disregard test. This. Alright, and I'll sign it Mungo. Now, I'll go back. Let me shut this window here. We'll go back and we'll go to inventory, and I'm going to go to objects. And I have a test object attachment that I'm going to place, drag over to the square and drop. You can actually drag it right over to the attachment slot right here too and drop it. See, if I pull it up here, it has a little red circle with the slash through it, which means I can't drop it there. But as long as it has this like a little file folder, a little square underneath it, it means I can drop it in. So I'm going to drop it there, and it says test object attachment. So I'm going to send my notice. Pops right up. This picture right here is the logo or the picture from the group, of course. And I'm going to go here and double click on the attachment, and it copied it here to objects. Now I can take that out and drag it out and see what it is onto the ground. See what happens. Let's try that again. Might take a second for it to res. There we go. It's just a cube, and if I edit it, it says test object attachment. So it's just a blue cube I made. Take that away. And that was just for purposes of this video that I created that. You can attach any object to it as long as you have copyrights to that object. So like you can't attach a no copy object to an attachment because it has to make a copy each time it gives it to someone. So that's the only thing you have to worry about on that. Also, be careful on no cards that you don't restrict them. Like, if you restrict them so you can't copy or modify them, people aren't going to be able to open them. So be aware of that too. So if you just write a standard no card and don't mess with permissions, you will be able to attach it and people will be able to open it. But a lot of times I've seen it where people can't open a no card because the people tried to protect it from being modified or whatever, and they weren't allowed to open it even though they could actually download the attachment. This is Mungo Darkmatter, and this has been Dark Matters. And whatever you do, enjoy playing Second Life.